Sorry about that. I got cut off. I'm going to start a new video and we'll do this in two parts. So just like Europe or Germany was divided into two parts, right? We'll have a two-part video. So the Soviet forces will occupy most of Eastern and Central Europe, and the eastern portion of Germany, which remained under the control of the Soviet Union and did not adopt a democracy. So the Soviet Union will encourage and perhaps force East Berlin and East Germany and Eastern Europe under their control and into a communist society. And meanwhile, the western section of these areas in Europe and West Berlin and West Germany will come under the governorship of the United States, Britain, and France, and assume a democratic or non-communist form of government. Berlin will be divided with a wall. A physical wall was built to separate the two sections, and so people that had once been able to see each other, including family members, friends, and relatives, were no longer able to see each other once that wall was complete. And it was heavily guarded and a scary place. My husband was actually in the Army during this time period, and he was stationed in Germany. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, you're going to complete the chart on the next slide. We're going to talk about the Truman Doctrine just a little bit, the Marshall Plan, which helped rebuild Europe. Here's how you can remember the Marshall Plan. It will be part of your assessment and information that you need to know. So here's some gestures to help you remember the Marshall Plan. George C. Marshall was the man. He created the Marshall Plan. The Marshall Plan gave $13 billion from the United States across the Atlantic Ocean to rebuild Western Europe, and prevent the spread of communism. So you could actually do that with me. Here, let's try that. George C. Marshall was the man. He created the Marshall Plan. The Marshall Plan gave $13 billion from the United States across the Atlantic Ocean to rebuild Western Europe and prevent the spread of communism. So we were afraid that communism would spread if we didn't aid these countries to help rebuild after the devastation of World War II. And that was instituted by a man named George C. Marshall, and he's one of the people that you need to know this year. Okay, NATO, going to flip to it really quickly. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization. We were so fearful of a possible Soviet attack that we aligned ourselves with several countries and created what was called NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, to help each other fight against the Soviet Union in case they attacked one of us, in case of a possible Soviet attack. And in response to that, you can see over here in the corner, the Soviet Union, to contain communism or to spread communism, we were trying to contain it by creating NATO. But to spread communism, the Soviet Union creates an alliance of their own with the countries that it had taken control of, and they called that the Warsaw Pact. Okay, so we're going to learn more about the Truman Doctrine and the Berlin Airlift also, and we have several clips that we'll watch today, and you will drag some images that you see over here on the right side to fit in each one of these boxes, and you can use clues within the images to help you figure out where they go. Thanks a lot, and I hope you enjoy this study of the Cold War era and the rebuilding efforts of Europe and Asia.